Hello, hello. This is the prologue, the intro to my video series covering myself playing Late Age Marignon with this Pretender God in Lucid's tournament in 2025, early 2025. The first round, so 5 players on a rather excellent 5-player map. I think it's very well designed. And this is like a meta intro thing. So first off, I would like to disclaim all of the rudeness and trash talking I indulged in against the other players. Maybe not all of it, but like most of it or something. So I do apologise to them, especially since some of the assumptions I made about them turned out to be incorrect in rather amusing ways in the course of the game. I won't comment on the gameplay at this point. I'll just describe how this is going to work. So I only recorded like a third of the turns because most turns just aren't really that interesting. So I skipped a lot. And I tried not to ramble too much, but I also tried to describe practically everything I did. And I didn't play on stream, so to speak. I did play one turn through while recording, but most of the time I just played the turn, then recorded the commentary after that. Otherwise, it's just so slow. That's about all I wanted to say. Hello, 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 and welcome to Lucid's tournament game. I'm in round 1, I'm in game 63, and I'm playing Late Age Marignon. And as you can see, my other opponents are Pangier, Jomon, Femini, and Pirenne. I'm going to call them Pirenne, because I don't know how to pronounce it. So Pirenne is the only one with a strong Cap Sacred. These are fairly strong too if you buff them with Ethereal. But generally these are sort of weird, janky nations. In fact, we all are, apart from Pirenne, in that we don't have a really obvious spammable troop, apart from the Grove Guard. But even then, I still felt that Marignon is incredibly strong late game. Every single magic path, you can site search every single magic path. You can also blood hunt, you've got sacred astral summons, and you've got a sacred blood summon in the Fallen Angel, and you've got discounts on lifelongs and soul contracts. The lifelong discount can be combined with your assassins. You have so many. You have 21 different commanders. One's an assassin, one's a spy and a seducer. One does whatever the fuck this is. I don't even know what this does exactly. You've got 3 different commanders with variants of sailing. You've got Inquisitor Priests. You've got, they can also research, you've got Blood Hunters, any Fort Communionable Mage, and the equivalent is actually stronger, the Royal Navigator that you can build. I'm going to build 5 forts here for the Royal Navigator, and the Royal Navigator is going to be amazing, a very solid generic mage. So very powerful late game. These guys can get like Earth 2 sometimes, and then they can make your Dwarven Hammers. These guys you can get like Blood 3 plus an Empowerment and a Bloodthorn to Blood 5, and then you can cast whatever you want from Blood. These guys, if you spend like 30 turns making them out of your cap, eventually you'll get lucky and you'll get Glamour 3, and then you have full Glamour access, and so on and so on. The troops are basically bad. All of these troops suck, basically, apart from this guy is okay. Pretty mediocre, but it's only 10 gold, so I would say that's a good troop. This guy costs twice as much, but all of his stats are so much better that I actually like him, especially when you're resource constrained, because 33 versus 28, not much difference. Pretty painful to do pure scales expansion with this nation though, because that's really your only good troop. Even these guys only 10 attack skills, so it's really all about these guys, and this is just painful to clear the cap circle with. Once the cap circle is cleared, then you can make like 13 a turn, even if you took turn mole 1 like I did. But I definitely think you need an expander on this nation, especially since you're weak early and strong late to a quite extreme degree. So these are my scales, except it's actually called 2 when it's not summer. Not much to explain here. I tried to dump Sloth 1, but then the mundane expansion without the Pretender, when the Pretender's off somewhere else, the stuff I was doing with my troops was just so painful with Sloth 1. So I had to go Prod 1. Otherwise I would have gone Cold 1, Growth 2, but I needed the production for these guys. And luckily I snagged Duran's Cavalry on the first turn, 520 research. We do have this mod where you get to direct your research in the first turn, so I had 5 of those research balls, and I snagged Enchantment 2 for personal regeneration, coincidentally giving me this decent spell as well, and I also got Alteration 1 for Barkskin, and I will soon get Alteration 2 and 3, and that will give me Stone Skin, Mistform, Body Ethereal, Iron Skin. This is an extremely reliable expander. I basically have nature on it for two reasons. One is because I'm just not a very good player, to be honest. I'm profoundly average. I would say I'm intermediate. I've got some decent expansion experience, and I can do the strategic and logistical part of the game fairly well, but my scripting is mediocre, or poor, so I just wanted to make sure I don't get her killed. So I spent like 2 scales on this. Now, this doesn't just make her a lot tankier with the personal regen, it actually also gives you full nature access, because she's also got Astral, so she can make a Thistle Mace, and then she can make a Moonvine Circlet, and then she can summon an Ivy King and give those boosters to the Ivy King. The Ivy King can make a Tree-Lord Staff, and then you're at nature 6, assuming you have all the gems for that. So this does add an entire full access path to your nation, which is nice. She could also just, even without any equipment, do Power of the Spheres, followed by Howl, which is probably less useful than just fighting in melee, but it depends on the context. So, very strong expander, don't need to explain that. If we go on to the... I'm not going to go through the Pretender screen, but basically I wanted an expander that could also fight player armies. I wanted to heavily invest in this because I automatically win if I survive long enough, in my opinion, because this nation has so many tools. And that's why I have a full Path Titan. It can get magic dueled, but we've got lots of Astral Mages as well. So that is the logic there. If you look at the Great Archon, for example, the Great Archon doesn't have a boot slot. It has map move 12. It's got lower attack and defense skill. It doesn't have repel because it's got a short weapon. It's got less protection, and it doesn't have fear. The fear and the inbuilt armor are just so useful. I mean, this casts Barkskin. It's 21 protection with fear and regeneration because I took nature. It's just an amazing two weapons that repel. It's a very, very reliable expander. And yeah, we're not going to get research anytime soon though. So I am making some commanders and scouts to ferry troops and then scout the map. In fact, I don't need 2 independent commanders right away, so I'll switch those 2 around. I'm not recruiting these indies because they're crap, but I will recruit crossbowmen once I acquire some. Here's my little script for this battle if you care. And also she's called Kim Yo Jong because I think Kim Yo Jong, I want her to execute me in real life. That would be very... exciting. Oh, and she's also got Combat Caster. Oh, yes, that brings me to the Bless. The Bless is Reinvigoration 5, and if you cast Summon Earth Power, then this chassis will have 9 Reinvigoration, and you can actually just put her on an Advance and Cast, and depending on context, she will spam Shockwave, and I think that's actually very powerful. Let's have a look at Shockwave. Area of Effect 6, 9 armor negating damage, and it does increase with the caster level, so it would be 10 in our case. So it will kill around, a dozen people, a dozen humans a turn, potentially. Very, very strong. Slightly concerning if you only have 5 shock resistance of your own, I suppose, but actually, no, that's not a problem here. So I think that just about covers everything for turn 3. The first turn I wanted to show you, nothing else happened that I couldn't just describe. You didn't need to see those earlier turns. So that's turn 3. And I put 10 PD down, and I suspect that this is Pangeia's cap, just from looking at where it is in relation to the lake, but I'm not sure. Maybe I really can't tell, because, okay, so my cap, it has 2 border provinces, and it's 2 slots away from the lake. So does that mean this is like the next guy's cap, or like this is, or something, or this? I don't know quite where you find an exactly parallel case to that. Maybe this is someone's cap. Yeah, this looks like it might be someone's cap, but I'm just finding it hard to guess from looking where everyone else's cap is. Because this is a lot closer to the lake, if it was here, than mine is to this lake. So is this someone's cap? That means we're pretty close, actually. Yeah, so we'll see. I guess it's good that I'm training 2 scouts. And I'm also sending my starting scout in a different direction from my Tendi. My Tendi, I think, is going to clean up both of these provinces next for the income. And I'll start my 2 palisades here. Yeah, that's all I have to say for this turn. Toodles! Hello, chaps. It's the next turn. Barra had some attrition. We had some fleeing. I think the fleeing was done by low-quality melee troops, which don't really matter. And we did also lose a horseman, but the big test is this turn. So let's load all of these guys onto this one mage, who can command them all easily because he's a fire mage. And let's to transfer these. Let's put these to God Commander. Let's plug them all in there. Let's site search with her. Let's set PD. And then let's start getting confused because there's so many different things to do. This scout, I guess, can go over here. And we're already in excess on resources. So I'm going to switch to these swordsmen instead because they cost so much fewer recruitment points. Now, if I cancel one of these guys, I can recruit. No, I'd rather have one of the golden guys than two of the other champs. Or I could do that, I suppose. Yeah, I think I'll do that. And in terms of mages, what do we have? So I'm going to always choose between the 4 cap-only mages. It might actually be worth it to... I think I'm actually going to get a commander already. And that almost makes me... Yeah, I can do this now. And yes, I'll do a Royal Alchemist. I'll keep training Royal Alchemist until I get like Earth 2 or something. Or maybe I should make Mirror Mages just so I can... I'll make Mirror Mages first and then Royal Alchemists. And the Master of Mirrors are cheaper, so it will let me start these Palisades earlier. So as you can see, I'm still getting very little research done. Still not really getting alteration just yet. I think I said I would get it this turn, but one of my mages is moving out of the capital again because I'm only just now getting some indie commanders to come in. And in fact, I might need to recruit another one pretty soon. So maybe after this, I get yet another. Oh no, because I'm training a proper general, aren't I? So that's my recruitment. Now let's do our scripting. So this script hasn't changed. I do have 2 options between 2 heavy cavalry provinces or a lizard warrior province. So not exactly the easiest. And I only have alteration 1, alteration 2, but this should still be fine. She probably won't run away, and she definitely won't die unless I get ridiculously unlucky. So here's our Holden attacks. These chaps are just going to die again, aren't they? So I guess I'll put these way at the back, and these chaps will hold an attack closest, maybe a little behind the other 8 because they've got lower morale, so we want them to be taking less heat. And put this guy over here, Duran's cavalry, same as before, hold an attack rear. Actually, let's double check. Let's see. Hang on. I just remembered something. We're going up against heavy cavalry. So these chaps have a very glorious and special role to play, which is lance catching. They will catch the lances so that the lances do not hurt the more valuable troops that I want to keep going. So I think I'll do hold and attack enemy cavalry actually on these. And that will be basically what decides the battle, is just chopping through the heavy cavalry with everything after they've already used up their lances. Still no interesting indies apart from these guys. So I'm going to recruit a total of 1 and a bit crossbowmen here. And I consider that to be a good option because he is only 10 gold and he's better armoured than these chaps. Plus 5 protection. Is plus 5 protection really worth it? Do I actually care? Do I actually want crossbowmen? I think I do because there's so many crappy scales troops in this game. So I will get the crossbowmen. and I'll add to them with Vath and so on. So just checking my script, all the important stuff. And that is this turn done. Oh, and I need to check for... Hello. Oh, my beauty. Lovely and jubbly. Let's get them out. How are we going to do this? We need... So this army, once it's done here, will expand into these 2 provinces, and they can't because there's no neighbouring province. So I'm not actually sure what we're doing with these infantrymen then, the Black Fists. Is this even good? 30 mace men for 200 gold. It's a good deal. So I think I will... Well, I might as well bid. I've got the gold left over. I might as well just plonk them in this province right here. And I'm curious now about the lizard men, but I don't have anything that can ping the lizard men this turn while my pretender goes off and assaults that. So I'm not really sure. Maybe this province is so small, but it's still heavy cavalry. So maybe I shouldn't even attack Olontova. Maybe I should try here with this force. No, it's too weak. Look, I'll just see what happens. I'll just buy them into Olontova and see what happens. They can always stand around uselessly for a turn. Oh, hang on. It's already time to rebid these? 1 mercenary contact will expire. Okay, well, I haven't taken any real damage on them, so I'd better keep them in good favour with that payment, and then I can't hire the other ones. Okay, well that's that turn. That's turn 4 done. Toodles. Hello, chaps. It's turn 7, and I bounced off this province from previous turn, conquered it this turn. Annoyingly, didn't get any Dominion spread, but because we have Stone Skin and Mist Form, I'm actually confident walking outside of Dominion and going asleep due to not having the Reinvigoration Bless, because she will be awake for the Lance Charge, and then after the Lance Charge, these people just don't have any damage. Hopefully, Femini isn't right here, and then I'm about to expand into here with a whole bunch of Righteous Wrath, Blood Surge, Unholy Weapons, Spear Sacreds, but that wouldn't expand very well, actually, so it probably wouldn't be that far out. So she should be fine, and if it wasn't Femini, we would see them. So, yeah, it should be absolutely fine. She might fall asleep, but then she'll just stand there being scary, and they'll run away from the fear. Over here, got just some lizard men versus some swordsmen. I'm going to rebid Durand's cavalry into this province of Vath here, just to support Nethermark and Verdant Steppe. It would be nice to get Verdant Steppe, that's a nice province. And we're also going into this little cul-de-sac and recruiting a bunch of soldiers, and we are 4 months away from this palisade going up. And if we look at the other locations, like I remarked earlier, I would quite like to build one here, but I should probably build them a bit spaced out, like around the lake, just to get the coastal mages and to get the more resources from spreading them out more. Even though I'm not really resource limited, I'm more recruitment point limited with these scales and making the golden swordsman. Maybe Glanis is where I might actually leave this scout right here, because this scout, I'm moving this scout back into Misty Forest to scout whoever's over here. So that means I don't really need to move this guy forward. So I could actually have him start building a fort the very next turn, which would be, I think that would be a very good idea. I don't have anything else to report, so that's turn 7 for you. Toodles. Hello. It's turn 8, and my pretender outside of Dominion had no problems. She did fall asleep, but then they all just ran away. As stated, nothing too dangerous here once the Lancers break on Mistform and Stoneskin. Black Marshes, we took some damage against the Lizard, but we have Lizard Shamans, which is very, very nice indeed. And in Glanis, in the little cave down here, we took no casualties in here. Expansion is kind of slow. 12 provinces on turn 8 is absolutely embarrassing with an awake expander, but fortunately both my neighbours are doing worse. You have Jomon, hasn't cleared his cap circle on turn 8, and what's his face? Femini. Also, let's have a look at the battle report. So, lost a 315 gold mage, and clearly, judging by the state of these indies, this was also a bump. They tried to expand, and they hit a bunch of dark vines, which is always a very nasty surprise, and so that's what happened there. And they're also not Grove Guards or Cambion Knights, so they are the two nations with weak troops that I'm neighbouring. So I got extremely lucky. I got very lucky. That was like, what is the chance of that, actually? Well, actually, how do you even calculate the chance that I would be next to the two players with the weak troops? I mean, so up here it could be one of 4 players, and it needs to be, so a half chance that I get a weak, half chance and then a 1/3 chance. So it's a 1 in 6 chance, and I got very lucky in that. Both with poor expansion. So, it looks like the border I could go, I was tempted to go around here and then loop down, but it's possible I should go into Uzid Yazran and then loop into Remire. Because if he's there this turn with a bunch of half-dead troops, then he'll probably go into Nardigo next turn, if he's not already there. And in fact, I shouldn't be scouting into Arnberg. I should be scouting into Wolven Plain, except he's almost certainly taken that one. I think I'm going to scout into Nardigo, and I have to choose between taking Remire or Uzid Yazran. And by the way, I still see no scales. Oh, and another thing I have to mention. So, these titles on Femini, they mean astral, air of at least 4, production of at least 1, and astral of at least 4, and his bless is defense skill +1 and nothing else. So it's some kind of absolutely deranged Pretender God build. I literally cannot even imagine what it is, except maybe charged bodies or lightning weapons on an imprisoned. It's very, very peculiar. Now the only decision I have to make is whether to go into Remire, Uzid, or one of these 3, and I kind of want to take advantage of Femini's poor expansion to push out a bit, but actually Jomon's expansion is objectively worse than Femini's, so I really can take my time to set a nice forward. In fact, I might do this. I might go here, and then because I'm in Uzid Yazran, I might be able to go into White Forest, depending on what is there, which is of course questionable. Another thing to consider is that this pretender will actually die to Femini's mages because they have false damage. So, and she doesn't have any killing mechanism like a fire shield yet, although I will make one later on in the game. So I actually want to get her away from this border. So I think I will go into Uzid Yezran, then Remire, then maybe even Bergaman. I might be fully greedy and just... That's kind of taking the piss though. I might take these two provinces and then screenshot it with my Titan in this province and offer an NAP to Femini on that basis, with me going into Black Peaks, and they can pick up Bergaman when they feel like it. I think that's what I will offer her, or him. And then, you know, then I might end up antagonizing Jomon using my Pretender God, because look how far forward my Dominion score is already. I'm very glad I took Dominion 7. Oh, and also I've made one priest, and he's going to be... In fact... The Titan isn't useful for fighting Femini, but she is useful for fighting Jomon. I think she'll be extremely good against Jomon. So, unless you did something, took unholy weapons, but there's no reason to do that unless you expect a board of Pyrini. Piren. Anyway, my point is, the conclusion here is that I'm winning. Neither of these nations are going to be able to rush me, and then I just automatically win if I survive long enough, and I'm not next to either of the nations with strong troops. So I win. This is a guaranteed win. I will win this match, 100% sure. Bing Shilao called it on turn 8. And that's enough of this turn. I'm making two priests, and I'm actually just going to build temples. And we're also constructing a palisades here because of the lizard men. So that's turn 8. Toodles. Hello, chaps. It's turn 9, and I read the tournament rules, and apparently the game automatically ends on turn 75. So I cannot bank on just infinite scaling of Soul Contract Devils, which was my original plan. I also can't bank on site-searching everything ridiculously minutely and expect to just win from that either. What happens on turn 75 is if someone has the most thrones, they win. So if they have 3 thrones, they win. If 2 people have 2 thrones each, then it goes down to largest number of provinces. So if Pangaea or Piren manage to conquer each other and then grab these 3 thrones, I might be in some trouble depending on how Femini and Jomon have gone up to that point. The other alternative is that doesn't happen. There's 2 thrones and I have 2 thrones, like these 2. And then I can actually automatically win by sending out 1 million devil raids on the last turn. That will win me the game. But it's kind of, so really the only way I lose, 75 turns is still quite a lot of time in the late era because everything's accelerated by all this gold and forts and majors. But 3 thrones, can be a challenge. We'll see what turns up. So I'm still fairly. If it didn't have a time limit, I would be guaranteed to win this game. I'm not even joking. I'm an intermediate player, but I just have the most overpowered nation, and Pan isn't even a blood power in LA. I don't think. Piren is a blood power, and it has good sacreds, but it doesn't have the magic diversity. So I would, and it doesn't have lifelong or soul contract discounts. So I would have automatically won against both of them, let alone these 2 players who are failing their expansions. So to talk through the failed expansions, this commander has 5 HP, missing an arm, and 1 kill. So he actually killed the assassin. So Jomon probably is going to send out another assassin this turn, or maybe next turn if he has to train one this turn. I assume there isn't another assassin actually waiting in the province. So I'm very tempted to attack this province with my scout, probably next turn, but it might have to be the turn after next. Either way, it'll be quite funny, even if because he'll either take the province or fight, or like Jomon will see it, which will be funny either way. Maybe I shouldn't antagonize Jomon, but maybe I should keep my scout, because I haven't actually seen Jomon's expansion forces. Oh, bless. And Femini over here won this battle with the use of some firebolts, and the Femini sorceress actually did need to be here to win. I'm not sure about the cloistered ladies though, because the bless is still just swiftness. So this was swiftness. This is such a close battle that maybe swiftness was needed. But goodness, they do slap in melee, don't they? 30 kills, I guess, because of the glamour. So both neighbours are failing their expansions, and I still am extremely curious about what Femini's god is, because it might be some kind of weird titan. Internally, nothing special to report except that it's turn 9, and I have 3 palisades going. One, I just started this one, and then I got these 2 coming along nicely. 2, 4, and 5 months remaining. Maybe I should even be starting to think about yet another one, but I have a temple I want to build. In fact, I've got a couple of temples I want to build. So we'll see how that goes. I think my next palisade should probably be in this province, Nethermark. I think that would be good. I might even start it next turn with this guy. Depending on how much gold I've got left. So that's turn 9. Toodles. Hello, chaps. It's turn 10, and judging by the chat in match 63 channel in Lucid's tournament, everyone is a noob in this game except possibly for Piren. This guy, Jomon, he does have an awake expander, so there is that. In fact, I don't remember seeing this last turn, so what kind of awake? I would have gone into the lake earlier than turn 10, wouldn't I? If I had an awake expander, like an earth snake. So anyway, I think this is my last chance to take this province, because he probably doesn't have either of these, so I can go in here safely, I think, probably, and not die to an earth snake this coming turn. This is just quite funny, but you know, it's just assassin shenanigans. Now he actually asked me if I neighboured Piren. He was hoping I was up here, and I told him that Pangaea was up there. But you know, it's kind of funny that he managed to inform his other neighbour that he was having some kind of border clash. I mean, he didn't say that, but I assume that he's asking about Piren because he's got a border clash going on. I guess that's a fairly swift response though. So maybe this guy's into total noob. We don't know. But Pangaea up here and Femni up here. I was right about this clump of forest. I think they've actually both stated that they've never played a game of Late Age before. And Piren, BHS username, he was commenting on the game, commenting on the national picks, and his comments were basically accurate and betrayed a fairly good understanding of the game. So he was saying it's ironic that we have a bunch of late game nations, but it's a turn limited to 75 turns. So I think Piren is the only other person who can win this game besides me. So I think my strategy has to be to get closer to Piren, and that means attacking Jomon and not attacking Femini. Especially since, and that's neat since I have this very nice border with Femini established already on turn 10. So I think that's my next plan, is to offer Femini a non-aggression pact. And go after Jomon. That's basically my plan. And we'll see how that goes. I'm kind of regretting taking cold scales for obvious. Oh my god, why is that? Why is it cold scale 4? I did not take cold 3. Why the fuck is there cold 4 everywhere? What the fuck? Oh right, okay, that's why. Well, that's annoying. That's really bad, actually. I just lost 0.5% of my population. Except it's not that bad in my capital, but really. 0.2% since it's only in a few provinces, but that's annoying. Okay, well that's his turn. Still only got 3 palisades under construction. This one is going to have a temple and lab next turn, and I'm going to start construction on a 4th out of cap fort, so that will bring me to a total of 5. And we could even call that a day temporarily, but because I'm not feeling terribly threatened by anyone, I might actually cut troop production. I'm almost tempted to cut troop production immediately, considering there is basically no... I guess I need troops to expand into this and then go up here and take this. So I need that. But like, apart from these 2 provinces, and I only need like 2 more turns of training to actually do that. In 2 more turns... Oh, I need to squeeze in here. This is really awkward. Oh, I guess this throne will block Jomon from getting into here. So these 2 are mine, which is convenient. So it's really just like these 5 provinces. That will be settled, actually, by the time any more troops get over here. In fact, I'm feeling a bit paranoid thinking about that. So I might as well move these out right now, because grabbing these is probably less important than setting the border with Jomon. So let's get that done right now. And let's see if I can... I run out of gold. Run out of gold. Oh. So annoying. Can this guy come over there? How am I going to do this? I need this scout forward. So is my... I've just doomed my mage to... I've just doomed my mage to move twice. That's annoying. I'm going to let go of Duran's cavalry as well. And, ooh, Goethe. It's tempting. It's tempting, actually. What if I just hired him to do some blood hunting? 160... is that a discount? Is that a national discount? That's a national discount right there. But I can't really afford him. I'm just doing other more important things. But I don't need a temple this time. Unless I want to not waste this guy's turn. Yeah, I'll pass on Goethe. I don't need it. Anyway, that's enough shilly-shallying. That's enough for turn 10. See you trips next time. Hello. It's turn 11, and I've changed my mind. I'm actually going to attack Femini instead of Jomon. I can't really fully explain why. It's just a sort of vibes-based thing. So Peren is over here, and Jomon has informed me that Peren has made a border deal with him. So I decided, you know what? I'm also going to make a border deal, according to which I get these provinces down here, and this one. And then I have good borders on both sides, and yeah, I could attack Jomon. But then I feel like I would sort of be exposing myself to being attacked by Peren, who is the other reasonably skilled player in this match. Also, the only nation that actually has cap sacreds. So he's probably quite a severe threat. So why would I expose myself like that? Meanwhile, he'd easily take half of Jomon. Well, I could just go after Femini, who looks even weaker than Jomon, and apparently Peren is attacking Pangaea. That's according to Jomon. So Pangaea won't be able to interfere here. It's just me and someone who's extremely, extremely weak. Even though I'm getting the vibe from Jomon, I think he had an Awake Expander and it died. That is my guess. Although these scales look like it might just be a scales build. But how did he get into here? I think he might have gone into here and then died to the heavy cavalry or something. And I'm going to be clearing this in exchange for a payment, and he can take it off me afterwards. The other thing, what else is there to say? So that's my plan, is attack Femini. And to do that, I'll be maintaining troop production in order to eventually get up to that's 120 siege strength. I need about 600 siege strength to take out a citadel in a reasonable amount of time. So I am starting a new palisades this turn. So I do have 4 under construction. I think I can't afford more than that. Given that I plan to not just make mages, I also plan to make troops in order to just take out Femini with troops. I think I won't really need much in the way of mages, or even any mage support at all. In fact, I think the magic support I will go for is actually going to be... It's actually going to be lifelong protections, because we get a national discount on that, and it's very useful in sieges. So I think... And it's also kind of mage turn efficient, apart from the fact that you have to blood hunt a fair bit. I'm almost tempted to switch away from making royal navigators to making these guys and starting blood hunting immediately. In fact, I'm going to do that. I'm not going to make royal navigators. I'm going to start with diabolists. Oh yes, and we also got an event with a dwarven hammer, which is nice. A dwarven hammer and 1400 gold coming out of this province. That's what happens when you take misfortune 2, and that is why I'm able to start a 4th consecutive, simultaneous palisades construction on turn 11. Not bad, really. The last thing to mention is that we now have visibility on these caves, and this kind of looks asymmetrical. Why the hell am I the one getting sandwiched between Femini and Jomon? Not that it really matters, because they're both piss weak, but actually this isn't Jomon. This is actually Peren. So Peren and Femini will be, I'm kind of attack Femini anyway. So maybe my plan here is to take Stalagmia, Yellow Caves, Lost World, Cold Hollows, and a Realm of Silence. Maybe that's my plan. And I think Peren could theoretically kill my pretender with glamour magic if I don't have a fire shield. So I might have to tog her up. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4. Only 4 turns, so I'm not going to have a fire shield researched, although I am researching construction now. I might have to go into Stalagmia, then Yellow Caves, then build a lab, and then that's 6 turns away. And I currently only have 89 research, so I might actually switch this guy over to researching. He could site search. I mean, it's a plains in late era. I don't know, so should he site search? Look, he's going to die of disease, so if he site searches, then the site can be named after him in something. We can put up a commemorative plaque. So I think we should site search because he's dying. Also, these barbs are being annoying. And I think that's all for turn 11. that is my plan, is attack the hell out of Femini. In fact, I might delete. You know, I offered him an NAP and now I'm regretting it. I'm actually going to delete my latest message to him. I'm not going to delete the first message to him because that was... Oh, hang on, I only sent that 5 hours ago. I'm actually going to delete that. But the problem is I think Discord will still show me having sent messages to him, which is kind of sussy. I'm going to delete my messages offering a border and an NAP, and I'm going to say, hey, Marignon to your south here in the tourney game. Just wanted to say I'm not expanding further in your direction, which is, you know, true, because invading someone doesn't count as expansion. And I'm also not going to invade him for quite a while anyway. So, yeah, that's just me avoiding... I don't want to give him a nap now because he can't threaten me at all, so why would I bother? Now, hopefully he didn't see the messages. Actually, can I go into the... So it's currently... It was 10 a.m. in Australia when I sent those messages, so... Is he the one that said what time zone he's in? Oh, he's in Eastern Europe. So 10 a.m. in Australia would be like 11 p.m. It would be about 9 p.m. in Europe. So he may have seen it, but I don't remember him being online when I sent that. So hopefully he doesn't see my extremely sussy message deletion and didn't see the original version. Because if you see the original version offering an NAP, and then you get one that's much more non-committal, that's pretty sussy. Not that it would help him anyway. There's nothing you can do. Poor noobs, but I guess only 75 turns in this game. That's really changed the way I'm thinking about this. For example, more emphasis on lifelongs and less on soul contracts. Although the soul contracts are still good. But yeah, turn 11. That's all. And let's press end turn. In fact, toodles. Hello and welcome to turn 12. I've changed my mind again. Instead of going after Femini, although I might still, Jomon is now the target again because Pirenne has suggested splitting Jomon in half, and with me maybe getting the capital itself. So previously I said that Jomon had told me that Pirenne had offered him peace. Pirenne tells me that that actually did happen, but then Jomon replied with, yeah, come kill me if you can. Because these guys are such noobs, they just don't know how to do Diplo, apparently, which is quite funny. So yeah, Jomon kind of on the chopping block, and I don't know if that's really good for me. I mean, I did originally say I needed to move towards Pirenne so that I have the option to pressure him again in future. I guess that's still true, but and I kind of want to attack. It's frustrating because I kind of want to attack both of my neighbours, but I'm playing a pretty weak early game nation, at least with these scales. I went Turmoil 1 Production 1 when you could go Order 3 Production 3, and I might do that next time I play Marignon. I might do full scales. So let's have a look at... We finally saw some expansion, and I didn't see the Bless. They don't have... I don't think they had a profit here. But just look at these troops. Like, okay, so samurais are... I don't know why samurai have... Did they really not lean into the memes at all and give them... Why is it 10 attack skill? That's kind of mean. So this is just medium infantry all the way down. Cavalry that has no shield. I honestly... Why? Why? Why do they suck so much? I mean, it's kind of historically accurate. I don't know if Japan really had good cavalry, but why? So this is their expansion strategy, taking 20% attrition. At least they did show up with less troops. And I'm going to clear Dalmum, and then he's going to pay me 100 gold for it. And that'll be that over this side until I get over here. These barbarians are still being annoying, and they might even... These barbarians might actually even... they seem to be roaming every single turn now. So I've scripted this guy to come here and retake Olontova. It seems like these provinces are completely unflagged, so I can just... Oh, crap, I lost this income as well. Shit. So my income should be a lot better once that comes back. A lot better. I mean, it's about 300 and... like 400 gold or something that I'm missing out on. Pretty incompetent of me to let that happen. Palisades. Did I start a new Palisades yet? No, still the same 4 Palisades. Oh yeah, and that's because, like I said, I plan to train troops. I just want to reiterate that I got a Dwarven Hammer from an event, so I'm feeling very happy about that. Did we get any more events? Fire Gems and Astral Pearls. What an amazing event. And Water Gems. Holy shit. 19 gems this turn from Misfortune 2, Magic 2. It's just amazing. And we also found a maze for 2 Astral Pearls and a Mudfield. So I did say that this guy, he's going to die tragically of old age, but he can discover some sites first, and he'll always be remembered for that. So, there we go. It actually worked. And that's quite nice, actually. These are very good gem types to have. Next on the agenda is probably to get the Pretender over here with some better gear. I am going to build the laboratory next turn here, I guess. And how far are we away from getting Construction 3? Still a little bit far, but it looks like I'll get it in time. Construction 3, of course, is not amazing, but it's better than nothing. And I have a hammer, so I could actually make another 3 item if I wanted to. I don't know which one I would make. I actually is the Fire Shield Construction 3 or 5? It's probably 5. Look, I'm sure we're going to have some kind of good option. Look, I've run out of things to say. That's turn 12. Do we have any other interesting events? Oh yes, and I managed to get my... This was my prophet. My prophet died, and I have no idea why he was even there. Like, I really genuinely have no idea why he was in this province by himself. I guess I must have... No, I actually have no idea. Maybe I sent him from Marignon to Mountains of Evernight. But why? But why? I just don't know. I just do not know why. So that's very peculiar. I'm not sure if I should even go into... I think I'm actually going to... It seems like these barbarians are attacking every turn, or do they have like a chance of attacking each turn? So I'm actually going to send this guy... What's the combat speed like? Combat speed 10. I'm actually going to send these mages out to recapture these provinces in the hopes that the barbarians will move here. Then I'll kill them here and recapture these provinces. That's turn 12. Seriously, nothing else to talk about? Oh yes, thaumaturgy. Yeah, nothing to talk about. Toodles.